leaving my husband because I found out that he has been making fun of me behind my back to his ex. Listen, there's no situation where you should be talking to an ex when you are married. I don't care what you say unless you have a child together. That is the only instance where I think it's okay to be in contact like that. My husband, male 45, and I, 36 female, met about 6 years ago. We have been married for 1 year. When we met, I was very fit and athletic. I started gaining weight, however, after suffering 2 miscarriages and the loss of my mother to cancer. I was very depressed and barely got out of bed if not to go to work. I stopped exercising and instead started eating junk food. I gained 40 pounds in 2 years. Under this time, my husband, then fiance, was very supportive and loving. I felt guilty and tried to give him an out several times, but instead he proposed and we got married last summer. Since our marriage, I've been feeling much better and it showed. I have lost around 20 pounds so far and I gained back my muscles and abs. He was so happy to see me feeling better. On his computer, however, it was totally a different story. He was talking almost during our entire relationship to his ex-wife about me. His ex-wife, 46 female, left him about 7 to 8 years ago for her colleague. The relationship didn't work, however, and she tried to get back together with my husband. He had already met me, but they stayed friends, mostly via chat, texting, since she lives 12 hours away. My husband was complaining about everything about me. My job, my depression, my cooking, but mostly my weight. Oh, why would you do that? Like, it's such a stupid move. Out of anyone in the world that you could complain to, you complain to the one person a significant other would never want you to complain to, an ex. Like, is it that hard? Complain to your mom, your dad, your dog, your best friend, your sister, your neighbor, your boss, but you had to go and complain to your ex-wife who tried to get back with you. How do you not see this as a problem? He was telling her how disgusting I was to him, how he even found it hard to share the same bed since I snored like a dog. He sent her pictures of me while sleeping, sometimes in underwear, with comments about my belly, double chin, back boobs, etc. She found these pictures extremely amusing and she came up with the name White Whale. They both found it hilarious and now this is what they referred to me as. It's baffling also because they're both old ass people. They're in their mid 40s, almost 50, and you guys are talking like this about your wife. This just shows he never truly loved you if he can even talk about that to anyone, let alone an ex. They don't flirt exactly or talk about being together or starting an affair, but they do say that they miss each other and they reminisce about the time they were married. She's more flirtatious and he really enjoys it. Whatever he's telling her isn't what I experienced with him. I don't disgust him. He tells me that he loves me all the time. We have a great and passionate nightlife, and the way he touches and makes love to me is so great. He must be a really good actor if he was really disgusted by me. And he hates the few times we have to sleep apart. He's lying and I don't know why he's doing it. He's lying to one of us and I'm not sure if I want to know who he's lying to and why. I decided to get out of this marriage and leave this behind me. Right now, I'm acting like everything is normal, but I've started looking for a new job in another city and a place to rent. I also started birth control pills in case something happens between us, and I have talked to a lawyer to prepare the divorce and start the process once I'm gone. One thing I'm not going to do is fall back into depression and weight gain. I will not allow it. What a waste of love he has been. Good for you for knowing your worth and walking away when you need to. I think that's one of the hardest things that women have to go through is they know they have to walk away, but sometimes it's hard to find the strength. I love you, be strong, and you will find someone way better than that. Am I wrong for refusing to pay for my wife's cosmetic surgeries despite paying for my ex's while we were married? My wife and I, both 32, have been married 2 years now. My ex and I were married from 21 to 24. I paid for her cosmetic surgeries at 23 when I got a big sum of inheritance. We divorced because we fell out of love, and I met my now wife at 26. Dated her until I was 30 and then married her. My wife and I are planning on having our first and only child. I used most of my inheritance when I bought our home, and I put the rest towards an investment account that'll be our retirement money and part of the college fund for our kid, and towards an emergency account. We share finances, we both work, and we live comfortably. We are really planning for this child. My wife will take 3 years off to take care of the formative years of the baby, and I'll be the breadwinner. We will start trying next year because we want to save as much as we can for the baby's necessities. 2 days ago, she sat me down and said that she's been thinking about how having a baby might alter her body in ways she won't like. She says that she's putting all the risk into the pregnancy, body alterations, childbirth, risk of dying, while I'll be putting none. So she wants to be compensated for it. She wants me to pay out of my own pocket, not our joint account, for a few surgeries, most likely lipo and a breast lift a year after the birth. This is in case her resultant body is something she dislikes, and she said that she wants to make a contract and everything to make sure I don't back out. She repeated herself that this surgery will only be in case her resultant body is not of her liking. This is weird. Thing is, aside from the emergency fund I have and our savings for the baby, I don't have any money for that. I told her as much, and she said I could take a loan or something to pay for it. When I tried to protest, she reminded me how I paid for my ex's surgeries despite having no kids with her. I said it wasn't fair because even if she was asking 2 years before, I'll most likely not have any money since we are still saving for our kid, and I'll have to put all of our money towards the house and our care while she's a stay-at-home mom. She said I should think about it, but I said my answer was a total no, and she called me an asshole. So, am I? Oh, honestly, I think you need to be reconsidering who the mother of your child is, because She's not even preggers yet and she's already has this concern about her body and stuff. And I don't know, this just really gave me bad vibes. I don't think you're the asshole. This is just overall really weird. Am I wrong for being mad at my fiance for replacing my coffee with decaf? Okay, I know nothing about coffee, so I don't know if I'll be able to relate to this, but here we go. So I, 31 female, am currently 4 months pregnant with my fiance, 32 male. We've been together for 7 years and are planning to get married soon. We've been meaning to for years, but have never seen it as urgent until we both found out that I was pregnant recently. We're both over the moon and really excited. However, I haven't become overcome by mommy fever or anything. Now, I have been lucky enough to not have experienced any morning sickness or nausea or anything like that, or any extreme symptoms in my pregnancy. However, last week, I started getting absolutely killer headaches. I would describe it as if someone had taken an ice pack to my eyeball. I am someone who usually drinks 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day for context. I told my husband about these headaches and started to get really worried because I thought I was going to have the flu or maybe something worse, which could be bad for the baby, but he didn't say anything. After a week or so, the headaches pass, but I've noticed I'm a lot more tired than I used to be. I tell him this as well, and he still doesn't say anything. Well, this morning I found a pack of decaf coffee empty in the garbage, and suddenly it dawns on me what's been happening. I'm the only one of us who drinks coffee, and he's the one who's been doing the shopping the past 2 weeks. I confront him, and he admits that when he's ordered to do the weekly shopping, he's just been reusing my usual coffee tin and buying the decaf version of the same product because caffeine is bad for pregnancy, and he knows I don't have the will to do it on my own. But look, I've quit now and can spend the rest of my pregnancy without it. He said he didn't want to make me feel bad about my vice by confronting me and that it would be easier to quit if I wasn't doing it intentionally, so he did all 3 of us a massive favor. I tried to quit caffeine before as a detox a few years ago and only made it 2 days, he points out. I lost it and said he was a horrible person. Basically, I started packing my belongings and said that the way he acted is evidence that he actually not only completely lacks respect for me, but that he caused me immense stress, knew it, and still didn't own up to it until I had to confront him. He is refusing to apologize, so I'm staying at a friend's until he does. However, he doesn't think he did anything wrong. He and his friends think I'm being the asshole because he was just doing what's best for his baby's health, and that I'm completely overreacting and that my reaction is just pregnancy hormones. I'm really upset and feel like I'm making a massive mistake. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but it's just coffee. Am I wrong for telling my entire family that my cousin's child-free wedding isn't 100% child-free and refusing to attend? I need some insight to see if I'm in the wrong because I really don't feel like I am. I, 32 female, just received an invite to my cousin Alex's 30 female wedding. It stated on the invite that the wedding was child-free. I'm not new to child-free weddings, but what has me frustrated is the fact that there will be children in the wedding. Alex plans on having her and her fiance's 33 male nieces and nephews at their wedding. I overheard her asking her sister if her niece could be the flower girl at a family get-together. This confused me because child-free means no children, so I called Alex and asked. I told her and said that if her nieces and nephews are going, then my daughter, 5, similar in age to her nieces and nephews, should be allowed to go too. Alex said that only those in the bridal party are the exception and that she wants her nieces and nephews at the wedding. When I asked why they could come and not my daughter, she said it's because she knows her nieces and nephews are well behaved, so there will be no issues. She also knows her sister and my brother-in-law parent very well, and to top it off, she is a teacher who wants a day where she doesn't have to deal with children of others. She also said she is closer to them. I told her that her reasoning was ridiculous because child-free means no kids, including her nieces and nephews. Alex told me I was more than welcome to decline the invite, so I did. I ended up venting to my mother, who is married to Alex's dad's brother, and while she didn't agree with Alex, she said she could understand her feelings. However, my dad didn't like it and called her dad. My uncle Mitch asking why my daughter could not come. Mitch told my dad that it is Alex's wedding and she can do as she pleases. He also said cousins are not the same as nieces and nephews, especially since they're in the bridal party. My dad said since Mitch is paying for it that he should talk to Alex into allowing children. But he declined and said that he and my aunt don't believe paying for the wedding gives them a say, and even if it did, he agrees with Alex. This upset my dad, so then he told other family members. Now, several members are upset that Alex and her future husband, nieces, and nephews will be there, but no one else is allowed to bring their children. We have a large family and we all watch each other's children, so finding childcare will be difficult. Most of the family says it's Alex's wedding and her reason makes sense, but I and some of my cousins are refusing to attend. Alex doesn't seem to care one way or another. One cousin told Alex she was bringing her child anyway, to which Alex said, make sure you wear sneakers so it's easier on your feet as you're escorted back to your car. Which is how we found out she's having the security guard from her school checking the guest list and that he knows to not let any children in. So, am I the asshole?